Hello, Adam. I remembered.
You remember there's a countdown on this new app. Hello, Mike.
Hello. Do you know what I did? But my kids are now watching this podcast because it's on YouTube, which it never used to be before. They think it's brilliant. My little boy has asked if he can appear on the podcast at some point, which I'm sure we can accommodate because that will make his day. But they watched it and they thought it was quite hilarious that I forgot to speak and I just sat there staring at the camera, which was quite funny, but I don't want to dwell on my mistakes. How are you?
I'm good. I feel like you're also not saying that they commented on the size of your forehead alongside my forehead.
Well, yeah, I made the mistake of asking my son Arlo, whilst he was watching, who has the bigger forehead, me or Adam? And his exact answer was, well, it's hard to say because Adam has no hair and your forehead is massive, which really brought me down a peg or two because I really thought that they were going to just say you.
Yeah, that made me very happy because I am of larger forehead, shall we say, but part of that is just because I'm a bald man. So,
You are. I
there we
mean,
go.
which is what's really face and what's head. It all merges into one. It's hard to know now, isn't it? But anyway, nobody cares about our foreheads. We're here to talk shirts again. And we kind of had a bit of a last minute idea really for this one, didn't we? Because at the time of recording, it was only last week that we saw the retro weekend for La Liga. And I thought it was brilliant, by the way. Some of the shirts were incredible. As Adrian from They Think Kits tweeted, Hector Bellerin was made
Oh,
for
yeah.
that weekend.
It felt like he'd been waiting his entire life for this moment. Like, he's quite a retro guy anyway. He's quite right on as well. Like, we know that he's very into a lot of right on, left leaning causes. And he's got his little moustache and his big old mullet. And if it wasn't for the fact that some of the other players were alongside him, if you just had a picture of Hector himself, added a little bit of like a grainy fuzz to the picture, you could have believed it was from like the 70s. It was brilliant. He looked
Without
great.
a doubt. Look, I loved the shirts, but the biggest shout out for me does go to the fact that they put the referees in retro referee kits as
Mhm.
well. That just threw back to the late 90s for me, and it was amazing. Absolutely loved it. But we're not here, we're not doing an episode just on the retro weekend in La Liga because that would be a little bit too niche. But we are just generally going to have an episode on specials and anniversary kits. And we're going to show a few of our favorites and then kind of have a little bit of a chat about ones that we don't have and possibly would like to get at some point. And we can start with what we're wearing. So you got a relatively recent one on there, haven't you? For the benefit of those who are not watching but listening.
Yeah, so I'm wearing the Columbia shirt, the Columbia Anniversary 100 Years shirt, which came out a couple of seasons ago. I believe it's the one that won our previous podcast's Shirt of the Year, wasn't it? Was 2024 it won it?
Yeah, I'm terrible with the years. I've got some. I've had to
Oh, me
write
too.
down what year it was from. But yeah, I believe so. It is a spectacular shirt. It's one that I kept meaning to have a look for myself, and I'm kind of glad I waited because I've seen a few of them pop up on the like eBay Depop and the like now. So I might grab one soon. But it is very very smart. It's still as cool as the day it was released, isn't it?
Yeah, I completely agree. It was my choice for Shirt of the Year that year. I love how it fits. It's a great shirt. Again, some people are listening on audio. It's the cream one with the Colombian flag across the kind of, well, just below the nipples, shall we say. Well, they are on my shirt anyway. But it goes all the way around the back. So it's got the yellow, blue, then red. It's got the logos in an off-white, so trefoil, and it's got the Columbia badge. So it's almost like a rose gold, but not quite. And then it's got the Columbia flag around the collar and the cuffs. It's a lovely shirt. It's a lovely shirt. And without giving too many spoilers away, obviously this is an anniversary shirt podcast, but quite a few of the ones I've got are from the last couple of seasons and maybe have a trefoil on them. So yeah, Adidas doing what Adidas do very well recently. I think this one is probably my pick of them, alongside one other that I will get to. So yeah.
So I preempted the fact that you would pick a bunch of relatively recent shirts. So a lot of the shirts that I've got way too many in this pile to show, by the way. Like when I was going through my shirts, I found it really hard to just pick out 3 or 4. So it's probably going to be like the eBay one where we drag on a little bit talking about it, but I will try and keep it brief. But yeah, I preempted that by not just sticking strictly to anniversary shirts, but I've got a few in there that kind of fall into the subcategory specials, just a few. So yeah, we'll get to that when we go through them though. But yeah, my shirt this week, I've gone with the Fenerbahce Centenary shirt. I love this one. Again, we talked about the eBay bargains last week. This was a Depop shirt. Cost me £12 on Depop, which again is a bargain for any shirt. Absolutely love it. There's another version of this. So again, the collector and all of us will hate this, but there's a home shirt, which is this one. There's an away, which is gold, which is still part of the centenary. And then there's actually a reversible that does both in one shirt. So inevitably, I have to get all 3 of those at some point.
Of course.
But yeah, it's one of my favorite shirts. But I want to talk about my first anniversary shirt, and I want to bring it back to something that you've already mentioned with the one that you're wearing. One of my favorite things that the manufacturers do is to sort of like one color their logos and the badge. I just think it really adds something. And for me, that's why this shirt that I'm going to mention first is one of my favorites of all time for that. And it's the Bayern that's just sitting up above me just here. So that's the Bayern 120th anniversary shirt. I'm just going to grab it down. And it's exactly like you were saying, Adam. So it has for the benefit of those listening, this is the all white shirt with the burgundy red sleeves. And yeah, it's got the sort of like white out classic Bayern badge. It's got the little, I love that. I love the little T-Mobile sponsor, but very, very small under the Adidas logo. And exactly for the reasons you described that shirt, that's why I love this. That's sort of like whited out. And weirdly, this one is a very, very similar template to the Columbia that you've already spoken about. It's got the round neck, it's got the same kind of cuffs and pattern as well, and it's just an all-round brilliant shirt. Absolutely one of my favorites. That.
Yeah, very cool. I actually don't usually like the whiteout stuff. I don't know why. I don't think it always lands, but I think when it is a special shirt, so like the Bayern 120th anniversary shirt, it really suits that design, and the same with this Columbia one. Sometimes, I mean, I've said before, I really don't like blackout shirts, partly because I don't like wearing black because I'm not a goth. I wear bright colours. But I agree with you. It's with that shirt specifically, it looks very, very cool. I'm not normally a fan. Don't know why. But yeah, really good shirt. I don't know that one. I don't own it. Don't know why.
You need to put that right because you can get it for a decent price nowadays. Well, I think at one point they were selling on like places like Sports Direct and things like that for like 20 quid in the end. It was, I'll be honest, I paid full price for it when it first came out because I didn't want to be in the position where I couldn't get it. I had a bit of a nightmare with that one. I don't know if you recall me ever telling you about this, but it turned up from Adidas with big stains and marks down it. So
Which
I ended
happens more than you think, doesn't it?
Yes, but this one was even weirder because I took photos of the marks. I reported the problem. They asked me to send it back. I sent it back. They sent a new one, and they actually sent the exact same one back to me. So when it arrived back, it had exactly the same marks on, and I checked the photos, did a bit of photo matching, and it was the exact same shirt that had just been returned to me. So I ended up lodging a formal complaint, got some sort of phone call from somebody at Adidas. I think I got
Get me
a bit of help.
Adidas on the phone now.
Yeah, it was Mr.
Yes, I'll
Adidas. Yeah.
hold.
I think somebody on Twitter actually helped me with it and gave me like an email address to send a complaint to. I did it, and all credit to Adidas, they ended up refunding me. So although I paid full price for it, I actually got it for nothing in the end, and they actually gave me a big voucher for the troubles as well. So all's well that ends well. But yeah, Adam, what else you got?
So I'm going to just make my way through a couple of the trefoil shirts before we get to other ones. First up, I've got the most recent Leon shirt.
Oh, nice.
So again, very similar to the Columbia in that it has a trefoil. This has definitely got a rose gold Adidas trefoil logo. So it's not white out. It's not the most standout logo because the badge itself, which is a retro badge, is in blue and red. So the badge does take center stage, but the logo is there in a slightly more visible color. This one's cool because it has Adidas stripes on the sleeve, whereas the Columbia shirt doesn't. And a lot of the other ones, In fact, all of the other ones I'm going to show you don't, but they are white, so they match the shirt. And again, they've got the collar and cuffs slightly different to the Columbia in the sense that this is like a round neck with the almost V-neck part to it. But the fact it's got the retro kind of colours on the collar and then on the cuffs, very stylish. And yeah, just again, if you're watching this, you'll see this, but it's got the old school Olympic Lyonnais badge. So it says OL, then it's got a great big lion on it, obviously, but it's in more of a shield. I mean, it kind of has a shield at the moment, but it's the older one. So I'm going to hold up to the screen. It's very, very cool. It looks incredible. And yeah, I would say with this one, it's probably my least favorite because the fabric is a bit shiny, whereas the other ones, I think the quality is maybe slightly elevated on them, even though all of these are the stadium version, as they like to call them, rather than the authentics. Still a lovely shirt. Big fan.
It is not. I think that one was a little bit underrated when it came out because there
Yeah.
was so much hype around a lot of the other shirts. That one, I think, kind of fell by the wayside a little bit. But I really, really like it. That's certainly one that if I saw for a decent price, I'd probably grab. To be honest with you, it was good. I'm gonna do this one because it is my only trefoil shirt, and you might have one as well. And I don't know if you brought it, but this was absolutely one of my favorites from all of the trefoil range. And it's very special to me, Adam, because it takes me back to our lovely weekend in Amsterdam.
Oh, yes, of course. No, I didn't bring that one down with me because I thought you might bring it.
Yeah, so this is absolutely one of my favorites. Obviously, when we're with Adrian at They Think Kits, we all were lucky enough to get to go to Amsterdam and go and watch Ajax play, and we all had one of these to take with us. And they're beautiful shirts. They really, really are. They're so smart. They're so comfortable. They just look so good. It's got that sort of like the color matched trefoil and sponsor again to the red on the shirt. But for anyone who's ever been to Amsterdam and was like me and didn't understand how prominent this 3 white X's in the shield of Amsterdam actually is. It is everywhere over there. It's on bollards, it's on lampposts, it's on signs on the walls.
It's in the red light district.
I don't know because we didn't go there. But
Well,
no,
not when I went with you. Went on a stag do about a month before. The less said about that, the better. My wife does not listen to this podcast. Carry on.
But yeah, it is a great shirt. It's again one of the ones that did get a lot of fanfare. So I'm not going to talk about it for too long because everybody that's listening and watching will know exactly what shirt that we're on about, and it's brilliant. And it's long sleeve as well, which is just amazing.
Which is a bonus.
Yes.
I mean, I do love a good long sleeve shirt.
Yeah, great stuff. Great stuff.
Right, I'm going to do a double, mainly because we can't just sit here and talk about Adidas trefoil, recent ones, all day, every day. So I'm going to dig out, firstly, the Argentina, and secondly, the Germany. So again,
nice.
2 incredible shirts. They're actually quite widely available. I think the largest retro football shirt seller in the world, who mainly I used to get modern shirts at a cheap price, had the Germany shirt. They may even still have it for like $29.99 in long sleeve as well. And the goalkeeper shirt, which was like a light blue. I do like this Germany shirt. It's probably not my favorite one, mainly because I get why they did it, but I would have loved to have seen the German flag colours on the collar and cuffs, just because one of my favourite ever Germany shirts is like the 1986 one. I think it's from that time, 1986. And that has the colours on the collar and cuffs. Maybe just the collar, actually. But still really solid, and it's kind of got the eagle in the shadow print there. And then, yeah, we all know this Argentina shirt. It's got the everything in gold. This has the kind of not sewn in, but the heat pressed logos. And it's got like a laurel wreath around the AFA logo in white, got the AFA in the gold. And yeah, again, it's got a V-neck collar. It's got the retro cuffs. I like stuff with cuffs, mainly because I've got really skinny arms, Mike. And I find ones that are just cut just stick out really wide, whereas the cuffs They grip my meager biceps. So yeah, again, Adidas being Adidas, it's not all about the trefoil. The shirts themselves are really, really cool. I would actually almost call them fashion shirts. Like I wear this Columbia shirt that I'm wearing. I wear it in general everyday life. Whereas, sometimes like some shirts are football shirts, you know what I mean? You wear them to play football
100%.
in, wearing around the house. But if you've got to go to the shops, like, maybe I'm not going to wear, like, I don't know, this Portugal 1996 home shirt with the great big V-neck collar and the puffy sleeves. But these ones, I wear them as fashion items because that's what they are. So yeah, two solid ones there.
Yeah, very good. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull it well away to just show off something a little bit different, because anniversary shirts don't just come in the form of obviously the anniversary of a club or a nation. I said anniversary then.
Anniversary.
Anniversary. So yeah,
You've
they
gone
can be for different reasons.
back to Ajax.
So one of the things that happened recently was in Turkey, they had the celebration for 100 years as a republic, and every single club in the top division and possibly below as well. I'd have to just clarify that. All had special edition shirts for a particular weekend, and it was a really, really good show of shirts. And I'm lucky enough to have a couple of those. So the one that I do have that I had to get obviously was the Fenerbahce one. But it's the one that actually has a depiction of Ataturk on it. Nice shirt. My only disappointment with that one is it was an in-house thing. They were made by Puma at the time. Puma didn't get involved in it. It was very much just an in-house Fenerbahce thing that they just made their own. But very cool because they still wore them on the pitch. That's the most important thing for me and for us as collectors. So that one's pretty good. But one of the other ones I've just grabbed out of my collection to show is another one of the 100 years, and that is this one, which is a really, really unusual shirt. It is from Hatayspor. It's a red shirt with white sleeves, and it's got basically stars printed all over it. It's actually match worn as well, by the way, which is pretty cool. The old name and number on the back. But yeah, what I like about this shirt is it's completely unique. So it's not necessarily about the anniversary aspect of it, which is cool in itself. But I've spoken about this on previous podcasts. Over in Turkey, they take teamwear and they customize it. Instead of just going, here is your shirt, it's all red with white sleeves. There's actually a company, and if you can see it on there, it is Samurai or Samurai Sport. And basically, I've got quite a few Turkish shirts now that are Nike teamwear templates that have been taken by Samurai Sport, and they've been printed up with just unique individual designs. And for that reason, this shirt is actually one of my favorites. It's just decent, and it's one of those ones, again, like you were just saying, I'm not going to just chuck this on just to, go to a car boot sale on a Sunday morning, but it's a really, really cool shirt to have in my collection. And something that I love about Turkish shirts is they all have their own font with a little badge in the number, and it's just a nice little touch instead of, the standard print that everybody has. But yeah, I just thought that one was something a little bit different to show. And they all had these little 100-year badges printed on as well, which is cool.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
like that one.
Speaking of things that are a bit different, I'm going to go totally rogue here and show off an Adidas trefoil shirt from a recent season. So this is the Nuremberg shirt. So it's 125-year anniversary. Again, audio people, it's the slightly off-white with a very kind of almost burgundy stripes. It's got gold around the collar, gold around the cuffs. And then, again, for those watching, I'm going to show this closer. But around the Nuremberg badge, you've got similar to Argentina, a bit of a laurel wreath. And then it's got the dates at the top and then 125 at the bottom. And what I loved about this one is that Nuremberg aren't a top flight team, and yet they still got special treatment for a shirt like this, which I think is really cool. And we have seen Adidas do much better at that kind of thing. Again, we talked in the other episode we did about the World Cup shirts, the first one, about Curaçao having a bespoke Adidas shirt, which is kind of unheard of for a nation of that level. Normally they get teamwear. So for Nuremberg to get a lovely shirt like this, I think out of all of them, this is my favorite alongside the Columbia shirt I'm wearing. Like, love the Germany one, love the Leon, love the Argentina. I've got the Mexico Gold Cup shirt. I'm not going to show that one, but I have that one. I've got a few of the trefoils, but the Olympiakos is very cool as well. But this Nuremberg one is top tier, top tier. So yeah, I had to show this one. But I promise that's the last one that I've got for the trefoil shirts. It's not just a trefoil podcast from the last couple of years.
Well, before you stop talking about trefoils, my
You
next
go
one,
on.
it is, but it is not one of the recent trefoil shirts. So within my collection, the Bayern Munich shirts, some of them take pride of place, and I've got one of the sort of like oldest anniversary shirts that I can remember any club having, and that is this one here. So for those of you who are only listening, this is the 89-90, strictly only used in 1990, 90th anniversary shirt that Bayern Munich wore for 2 games. It's got a white Adidas trefoil on it. It's the traditional blue and red stripe with the Opel sponsor. It's got a lace-up collar. I love a lace-up collar. Again, you're not going to wear lace-up collars that often, just down the shop. But I like them. And if I get a good event to go to, then putting something like this on is a lot of fun. This shirt is one of my favorite shirts I own, and it always will be. I don't remember many other teams doing anniversary shirts going back that far. And like I say, I love it because it was only sold on sort of like limited numbers back in the day. It was actually used on the pitch. There were 2 uses of it, if I remember, in sort of like February and March, possibly of 1990. Can't remember the opponents. I've slipped my mind at the moment, but yeah, the shirt is just special. It's just so good, and I actually quite like something about it, and that's because everything's sublimated.
Mm.
The badge, the sponsor, and the Adidas trefoil. And I know you're not always a fan of that, Adam, but I've got to admit, when I own a shirt of this value and this sort of like just how much I love it at the
It's
age
nice
that
to
it's
have that
at,
safety net that everything's not going to
100%.
fall off.
Yeah, even down to the Bayern Munchen on the back is all sublimated, and I just know that as long as I'm careful with it, this shirt is never going to degrade. It's always going to be in this condition. So yeah, that one there is top 5 in my collection without a shadow of a doubt. And for me, I'd put my neck on the line and say that's my favorite anniversary shirt of all time.
So a couple of things. Firstly, spoiler. You said earlier that we were going to discuss the one anniversary shirt that we'd really, really like. That's the one I want.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Just because you are right in that there aren't many other teams that were doing that kind of thing. Like anniversary shirts weren't as prevalent. I do seem to remember Derby County had an amazing one. You might have to Google it, but it had, I think it was sponsored by Bass, and it had like some kind of like brown and yellow stripes coming this way, like different colors. And that was very cool. And I think that was earlier. But point being, we have all of these anniversary shirts. They're almost 10 a penny these days. They come out a lot. So for Bayern to do one, I mean, slightly odd. It's for the 90th anniversary. Who cares about that? But it's very cool. But something else you said about things being sublimated that I'm not normally a fan, but as we touched on, it does mean that you can be fairly safe unless you're going to iron the shirt and you burn it to bits, that it's going to be okay. Staying in Germany, I'm going back to the one that I showed in the last episode. This is the Borussia Dortmund anniversary shirt, 100th anniversary from 2009. And I'm scared to wash this one because anyone who has the shirt, so again, for those listening, it's almost like a gold color. It's almost, I want to say Wolverhampton Wanderers, to be honest. It's that kind of orangey yellow rather than the full on yellow. But it's got the Borussia Dortmund BVB '09 logo surrounded by the number 100. And it's all in felt. And there's lots of layers to it. And if you look online, an awful lot of them have like the BVB bit missing or the 100 is peeling and stuff like that. So I've got a mint one, which I'm very pleased about, but I'm scared to wear it because if I end up washing it, will it all come off? Hopefully not. But yeah, wonderful, wonderful shirt. Again, I know we've had this one on before, but it's got all of their trophies kind of sewn into the fabric. It's a beautiful shirt. I'm so pleased I own this one. I got it for a really good price, which is why we talked about it in the bargain episode. But it's just, it's an anniversary shirt done right, in my opinion, where it like the badge does the talking, the colours slightly different to what they normally do, so like something a little bit different, but then all of the trophies in the fabric. Lovely collar, Kappa logo, which is an iconic logo. Yeah.
Lovely, lovely stuff. So I'm going to talk about something now. So I want to stay in Germany because I want to stay with Bayern.
Mhm.
And I want to talk at like one of the downsides. So I got a few shirts I want to show here, and this is genuinely one of the sort of like more negative sides of special and anniversary shirts for me, in that we get so many of them. So the first one that I want to quickly show is this one, which is the original Weissen Oktoberfest shirt. This is a lovely shirt. Like you were talking about badges, the badge with all the detail around it, all the gold. I've got a lovely name set on the back, which I like unusual ones. Nobody criticize me, please. And I absolutely love that shirt. But
Again, for
then
those listening, what was that name set? What player was that on the back?
it was Nianzou. Yeah, go Google him. All right, honestly, don't worry. He did play for Bayern. I'm not imagining things. It's not one of those name sets you find on shirts on eBay that were just somebody who bought it. But my point being is, they've done one of those shirts every year since, because that one was successful, and
Mhm.
I haven't picked all of them up yet because I haven't liked them as much as this one, because I think the original was the best. But this is the thing: if I just go through a few of the ones that I've got here, all within quite quick succession of each other, we had that one, then we had the human race, which were kind of specials. Now, again, I love this shirt. They very much split opinion. For those who don't know what this is, it's the human race special. It throws back to the 92 template red with the 3 big blue stripes on the shoulder. Yeah, again, I
Did
love the
they wear
shirt.
that one on the
They certainly
pitch?
did. Yep, they did.
Which
Yes.
makes it very cool.
Yeah, if
That's kind of one
I,
of my collecting things. Like one of my things is that I have all of the Liverpool shirts from 1981 onwards that
yeah,
have been kind of worn on the pitch. There are like a few sponsor variations, which I don't have, but I would not have bought that shirt because I don't like those human race ones. But the fact it was on the pitch,
yes.
that does make it
If
special. So yeah.
if I recall, that one was worn on the pitch. The Juventus one was worn on the pitch.
Mm.
Am I right in thinking there was a Real Madrid one?
Yeah.
I believe if there was, I
Yeah, what
believe
was
that
it?
was
Was it
possibly
black?
worn.
I feel like it was black, maybe
Yeah,
based on the
I'm
2014-15 shirt.
quite
I
possibly.
might be wrong on that.
Yeah,
I
maybe.
don't
If
hugely like Real
anybody's
Madrid,
listening,
so
can tell us, just drop a comment, whatever. But I know that the Manchester United and Arsenal ones weren't worn because of
mm-mm.
the stricter regulations with kits. But just before I move on, then that followed quite quickly with another anniversary shirt, which was the Olympia Stadion 50-year anniversary shirt, which is a wonderful shirt, by the way. For anybody who doesn't know this one, it's the kind of off-white one with the teal, grey, orange, almost like lightning bolt type patterns through it. And I got that special edition name set they had with it, with the greatest player of all time, Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting on the back. So there was that one. And why are you laughing? How he didn't get a Ballon
Oh
d'Or?
no, I
It's
just remembered
disgusting.
a joke that someone told me earlier or something. Carry on.
Yeah. Then there was this one a little bit before, but this was the Parley Ocean Plastic Special, which again, very, very cool shirt. I like it. It's a red out shirt. Not a lot to tell you about this. It's all one color, but it was obviously made out of recycled
That's just
ocean
a red
plastics.
t-shirt, Mike.
No,
That's
shut
just a
up,
red
Adam.
t-shirt.
Which is great, which is really, really good. Lovely shirt. But Bayern have been prolific with this. That we're getting, as a Bayern collector, I'm quite frustrated. We are getting 5 shirts every single season. So
Mm.
I'm going to have my quick complaint about that. It is too much. None of us, even as collectors, want to see that many. I'm happy with a home and away and a third, but fourths and fifths every year is too much. And then just on my last Bayern one, there's only one more that I want to kind of throw into the mix here. And I don't know if you'll remember this one, Adam. So that's the 10 in a row
Oh, the
mashup.
mashup shirt.
Yeah.
Yes. Very cool.
So you will see it's got what I believe Scott calls the greatest patch ever made, which is the special 10 in a row patch. This one has got the Bundesliga 10 in a row sleeve patches. It's actually got Muller on the back as well. But that one goes back to what you were saying. It's a great shirt, and I had to have it. The collector in me just needed it, but it was never worn on the pitch. Never. So it's a very, very cool shirt, but some people might say it's kind of pointless because it is essentially just a a fashion shirt that's been badged up and printed up, which I still wanted one, but yeah, this is it, isn't it? Just to get the negativity out, and the one thing that everybody will mention when they watch and they listen to this, we know there are too many and we don't disagree. And that little batch that I've just shown barely even scratches the surface with Bayern Munich, with how many there have been just in the last 5 years. So yeah, enough of my petty moaning.
No, I think it's a valid point. I think you really touched on it by the fact that you said that the first Oktoberfest shirt you really, really liked, and then they kept making them. And I do get it because Germany are quite known for that. Like a lot of teams have the carnival shirts, don't they? And they are very cool. I think it's like Mainz do them, and Cologne do them as well. I believe we both own a Cologne carnival shirt. Is that right?
Yeah, that was one that
Well, I know I do.
almost.
So.
Yeah, no, I do. Off the top of my head, I think mine might be from 2014. It's made by Erima or Erima, however
Yeah, it's
you
the same. It
pronounce
might
that.
even be the same one.
Yeah, they're cool, but again, every year. So obviously the Column do them, and there's Mines do the carnival shirts every year. And look, I don't think I mind too much about it if they're kind of limited numbers and the fans are getting them and so on. But a lot of the buy-in specials every single year now are pretty much still obviously mass produced. None of them are on limited numbers. They're not special editions. They're just. I don't like using the term money grabs because everything's a money grab. Of course it is. But they are the next level of money grab. I do not need, as someone who collects Bayern Munich shirts, I do not need 5 every year. It's
I
excessive. Anyway, what else you got?
All right, so I've got 4 more. So this one is a Norwich City shirt. So this is the Norwich City anniversary shirt, centenary. So 1902 to 2002, so it's quite old. Sponsored by the now defunct digital phone company. The sponsor was slightly appealing, so I need to fix that at some stage. But
just quickly, that is one of the coolest sponsors I've ever seen, the digital phone company.
DPC. But
Amazing.
the cool thing about this shirt, well, there's a couple of cool things. Firstly, again, I'll hold it up. But for those listening, it's white and blue halves. And some people might be thinking, well, blue, Ipswich Town. But this is based on the first Norwich City shirt, like way back in 1902. So back then they were known as the Citizens and had sky blue, a little bit like Man City. So you could say Man City copied them, but I don't know when Man City were founded. So who copied who? I'm not an expert in these things. But it's a very cool shirt. What I really like about it is made by Zara, and Zara is in yellow and green. So it keeps the Norwich City kind of theme with the logo as well. Does clash a little bit with the white and the blue, but I like that. In the fabric, it's got all of the names of season ticket holders kind of shadow printed in the fabric. And then again, for those watching, you can see this, but for those listening, the badge has 2 canaries back to back, and then there's like the banners go all the way kind of around them and in front of them, and it says Centenary 1902, 2002, Norwich City Football Club. And it's just really cool. And one of the things I like about anniversary shirts is when they do anniversary badges, and not just, again, like the Nuremberg one's really cool, but it's a wreath around the badge and then it says 125. This is a bespoke badge for the centenary. And it's really, really good. I really like this shirt. I think Zara was slightly underrated. I think they were a Scottish brand. I think they made shirts for Ross County as well, if you must know. And yeah, it's, again, like I've lived in Norwich for about 20 years now. So they are, I know some people don't like the term second club, but like I've lived here long enough that, you know, basically half my life now, that it means actually, no, been in like 23 years. Good grief. It's been a long time. Came here for uni,
That's a
never
third
left.
of your life.
Yeah. No. No. What? Shut up.
I said.
I get. It took me a second to realise what you were saying there, Mike, and now I understand what you mean by that. So shut up. Yeah, I do have a real soft spot for Norwich, and this is a really, really cool shirt. So yeah, centenary shirt done really, really right.
That is a cool one. That is very, very cool. Before you go on to the next one, then, because I've still got a few more as well, so we'll split it up a little bit. The next one is, I'm kind of cheating a bit because it's not a special shirt, but I want to show it off because I love it. So we get special shirts, we get
Can I just
anniversary shirts.
interrupt? I didn't know that was a rule because there's a lovely Bordeaux third shirt that I was going to share, but it's just a third shirt.
This is
You didn't
technically a
tell me this
special
was a
shirt.
rule, Mike.
It
Carry on.
is technically because this is. Have you ever had a bit of Charlie Adam? Not a bit of Charlie Adam, a bit of Charlie Adam.
Um, in both senses, no, but when it comes to football shirts,
No,
yes, you know
football.
I have because I have one of the
So
Star Wars shirts.
yeah, there we go. It's one of the Star Wars
I've got
shirts.
the home sh
You got
the
yeah,
goalie shirt, I
the
think, to that.
goalkeeper. So yeah, for those of you listening, this is the Club Tijuana or Zolos outfield shirt that they basically did these. I believe it was for the release of one of the new shirts, maybe the new films, The Force Awakens,
Mm.
whichever one it was. And I have the one with the red, what people would call a red stormtrooper, or those nerds would possibly call Captain Cardinal. Yeah, it's brilliant. It's not technically like a special. Well, no, I think these fall into that special. They're kind
Yeah,
of themed.
I
They're
think they do. I think
yeah,
you're fine.
they're in addition to the standard shirts for the club each season, and the next few that I want to show after you go next are in the same sort of vein. But how do you feel about this? Just quickly, like themed shirts. What's your feeling on that? Sort of like, I know you're a big music fan, so if you have like a band sponsored shirt, you're a big fan. But how do you feel about this one when things like movies and pop culture come into the actual design of the football shirts? Because I love it. So
Do you know what?
yeah,
I think it's an interesting question. I think as long as it's in addition to, I don't see an issue with it. It reminds me a little bit. If you remember when Atletico were sponsored, or Atletico rather, Madrid was sponsored by, I think it was Columbia Pictures, wasn't it? And then
yes,
they changed their sponsor. So like the most famous one is the away shirt with a Spider-Man. But I think one of their shirts, I think, was sponsored by White Chicks, maybe. I seem
yeah.
to remember that they had a whole range of them. And that was quite interesting because they were certainly kind of like special versions of it. And this is almost like a version of that, but they've actually made Star Wars part of the shirt, not just a sponsor. I think it's cool. I can imagine people not liking it if it was something they didn't like. And I think actually, interestingly, when you said music, that's probably the worst one for that kind of thing. Because I think most of the time, if people don't like a film, they're like, "Yeah, no, it's fine." But when it comes to music, they're like, You like Steps? Are you stupid?" I mean, I will judge if you like Steps, but do you know what I mean? Like people get quite territorial over music, and they have like their genres. You are right. I've bought a few shirts. There was a Whitburn Juniors shirt, which is sponsored by Churches, which I bought. It's a very strange story that I saw someone shared it on Instagram, asked where they got it, and they were like, I literally messaged this lady called Anne who works in the club shop. It was the only way to get in touch with them. There was no website. And so on Christmas Day, I messaged this poor lady and she went, "Yeah, it's a tenner. I'll send it out after Christmas." Um, yeah, no, I'm here for it. Like, life's too short to complain about special shirts. Do you know what I mean? It's like, if you don't like it, don't buy it.
Fair.
Unless there's five
Right.
a year, because then you're taking the mick a bit. But
Yeah, exactly that. What you got next? Come on.
what have I got? Okay, so going to Spain, and I've got the
Oh, I like this one.
Atletico anniversary. So this is beautiful. I said that like you would say, be beautiful, but in less of a West Country accent because I can't do them. So I can't do any accents really, not even a Norfolk one. But so actually the same as Norwich, I think, 1903 to 2003. And what I like about this one, obviously it's very retro. It's got a massive collar. It is one of the ones that has a standard badge and then it's got a banner underneath it, a tiny Nike logo underneath. But it's a beautiful fabric, this one. So on the sleeve, it does have an extra logo as well. So again, for the benefit of those listening, it's kind of like a red, almost like a sunburst kind of, or a firework kind of spraying out. And then it says 1903, 2003 Atletico de Madrid underneath in blue. But the shirt itself is red and white stripes, and it's made almost like of cotton. Like it's a very thick material. It's really, really nice. I love this one. It's one of those ones that borderline fashion rather than football shirt. I don't know if they wore this exact one on the pitch or whether they had a player version that wasn't quite so cottony, because it does feel like a shirt kind of fabric rather than a football shirt. But yeah, it's a brilliant shirt, and it's even in the kind of where the size is normally in on the inside of the neck. It's got sewing where it says Centenario, which I presume is Spanish for centenary. That would be my
I think
guess.
we can make an assumption
What
on that
does
one. I
that
think.
say? How can anyone read that? Yeah, lovely shirt. I love this one. I think it was actually quite cheap as well. It's one of the I can't remember the exact price I paid, but I think it was under £30 for it. So yeah. Oof.
Nice, nice. Right, so I've only got one last thing
Oh, I've
to
got three
show.
more.
Well, what
I'll race
actually
through
no,
them then.
that's all right. That's all right. I technically I've got one, two, three, four, five, six.
Oh, okay.
But they follow on from that, Charlie, because
Righto.
it's another set. It's another set. Look,
Oh,
um,
I know where we're going. Yeah, yeah. Go on then. Go on.
yes, everybody knows that Charlie are actually very, very good at doing these themed football shirts. We've seen Call of Duty ones, we've seen the Star Wars. There's been other stuff as well. My favorite, very timely because at time of recording, it's just been WrestleMania weekend, which is a big weekend for nerds like me. Um, they did some wrestling ones. They did some lucha libre shirts. So I'm just going to very, very quickly show the six of them. So that's the first one, which is another Club Tijuana. Really, really like that one. There's the Leon, which is that one. So sorry, apologies for those listening who know these. They're hard to describe just by using words because
Just a
they're all kind of
festival of
mad.
color. There's a lot
Absolutely.
going on.
All of them have sort of like lucha libre mask themes on them because it was all in conjunction with a Mexican wrestling company called AAA. Yeah. Then there is what are we? There's a Kerataro one. One of my favorite things on these is they have these sort of like faux lace up collars, which kind of mimic the back lace up section of again a lucha libre's mask, which is cool. That's a lovely shirt. There's this one here, which is the Pachuca one. Again, really, really cool shirt. That one's up
I
with my
think that's
favorites.
my favorite one. Like
I'm leaving
the
my
kind of the
my
blue and the
favorite to
pink.
last.
Actually, no, there's one more, isn't there?
Yeah, I think yeah,
Yeah.
that one very cool as well, which is the Santos Laguna. Very, very cool. All of them
So
have the
kind of like
same features with the collar.
green. Yeah. Very vibrant, that one. Probably my least favorite, the green one. But yeah, you've got the
Yeah,
best
so
one.
this is my favorite. This was the first one that I bought. I actually bought this one directly from Charlie, Mexico, because it wasn't being sold over here. It cost me an absolute fortune to buy it and get it shipped over. And it's the Atlas one. So again, it's kind of inspired by old Mexican lucha libre posters that they would have scattered around the small towns to get people down to the hall to watch the wrestling. And it's a beautiful shirt. I love it as well because they ended up winning obviously in Mexico and some South American countries and Central American, they split the leagues into the first and second stages. They
Uh-huh.
actually won at least the first stage of the league wearing this shirt as well. And there is I think it's a Campeonato possibly patch that you can get for it, which is beautiful. But I'm yet to find someone selling a legit one. I don't want to put a fake one on my shirt. So yeah, that is probably there you go. They've all got their own little luchas on the corners as well. Look, not as I say, I know it's a bit contradictory because I was just complaining about how many shirts that there are, but sets like that are amazing for
Thing
us
is
as
that they're all different
collectors.
teams, though. So
Yes.
it's up to a collector if they want to get them. But for the actual supporters of those teams, like again, like I think you're right that 5 is too much for one team because it feels like there's the pressure, and not just for us as collectors, but for families. Like, it's all well and good saying to, like, a kid, like, "You can't have that one," and, you know, get some discipline, but it does put pressure on people to feel like they have to get them all. Whereas a set like this, most people aren't gonna buy them all. Someone like you might buy them all, but you are a collector, that is what you spend your money on, so, yeah. So I don't think you're being hypocritical there, I think it's fine, before
Yeah.
anyone gets in the
Do you know
comments
what?
being like, "Why is it fine for that?"
I didn't actually intend on buying all of them either. I picked up the Atlas one just because that was my favorite. Again, being a lifelong wrestling nerd, it had to happen, it was always going to happen. And that was my favorite. So I just got that one. I was genuinely happy. But then a few guys in the UK started selling them. And
Mm.
I'll give him a shout out. It was Tom. It used to be Circa 88. I can't remember. He has changed the name of his online store now. And apologies, it might just be Retro Football Shirts or something along those lines. He actually stocked them, and all credit to him. He messaged me when he was getting them to let me know he was getting all of them as well. And he literally just sent me all the ones that I wanted. It was like, oh yeah, just pay me when you get them. It's fine. And it was a really, really nice thing of him to do. So I ended up getting all 6 because I got them for a more affordable price from a UK seller, which is great. But the collection, the collectionist in all of us wants to finish a set. So I think over time, I probably would have hated it if I did only have the one. But hey,
I
all's
mean,
well that ends well.
I've been there with the first MLS throwback collection that they brought out. I got all 5. I could have
Yeah.
been more patient, but I got them from CFS when they came out in authentic. Obviously, you get like discounts at CFS, but yeah. Sometimes the bug to get an entire collection means that you spend a little bit too much money. You get them shipped from Mexico, or you buy
Or you buy
5
them all
football shirts
from, and you just don't
that
eat
end
for a
up
couple of
being,
months. It's all good, isn't
yeah,
it?
but it's fine. I don't need that much anyway. Right. So I've got 3 more. The
Yeah,
last 2 are my kind of favorite ones, but I'm gonna show you I couldn't leave it without a Liverpool shirt, the Liverpool centenary shirt. So, obviously, 1992, this was actually the first time we saw the new badge. It wasn't until the season afterwards they added the Hillsborough Flames, but this is the one that is sponsored by Carlsberg, has the white Adidas stripes over the sleeve, which they actually had the season before, but the shirt was slightly different. It had sublimated stripes, whereas this one, they're sewn on, and the cut was slightly different. So it's almost the same shirt, but not quite the same. And the sponsor was different. It was a sublimated candy, whereas this is the kind of the embossed, puffy style Carlsberg. But yeah, it's a centenary shirt, and the away shirt was exactly the same, but in a green color. I have that as well. Didn't actually mention this before, but in the bargains episode we did, but both of them I got for about 30 quid on eBay a few years back in pretty good condition. Um, Another interesting story for those that like this kind of thing. My very first football shirt got at age 10,
oh, really?
and it's my very, obviously not this one, I had to buy it again.
Mm.
I wore it so much, it was so bobbled, like it disintegrated. I was so pleased to finally get a football shirt, and you know what kids are like. I slept in it. I showered in it when I showered. I played football in it. Like I spent my life in this football shirt. So it has a lot of memories for me, this one. So I had to dig it out. It's not the greatest shirt in the world. Like I said, it does bobble quite a lot. And the fit is weird. Like it's got those big Adidas sleeves. So it looks a bit ridiculous. But yeah, Adidas equipment logo as well. It's nostalgia for me, this one. It's a beautiful shirt.
Great show.
And is it me again?
Yeah, just keep
Yeah?
going now. Look,
Just keep going, right.
I've got one other thing. I tell you what I can do. I can just
Go on
quickly
then.
just give one mention of something that I do also like. It's not, again, because I'm trying to do a couple of different of these subcategories when we get special shirts. One of the other things that I actually really, really like is a charity shirt. If you're
Mhm.
going to do a shirt, then do it for a good cause. My hometown club, Cheltenham Town, do this most years. I picked one up a few seasons ago, which was one that they did.
Oh,
This
I
one,
remember this one.
Yep, it's one of my favourite shirts. It's for the Holly Gazard Trust. For anybody who doesn't know what that is, go take a look at it. It was a horrible story that they've tried to turn into something positive with the trust. And yeah, my hometown club, Cheltenham, they do this most years. We've had sort of like cancer research and all sorts of different shirts, which is really, really good. And that one's up there in one of my favourites. I've never worn that. Don't really want to. It's one of the very few shirts I've left the tags on. And it's quite special to me, that one. And then the only other one that I've got that falls into that is a few of us grabbed one of these, which
Oh,
was
the
the
Bradley Lowery
Sunderland for
one.
Bradley. Yeah, just with
Yeah.
the lovely little for Bradley patch on that they obviously wore on the pitch. And yeah, that's the other one that I just wanted to give a bit of a shout out to, because if you're going to do special shirts and you're doing it for charity, I'm not going to complain about it. If people, I know people might still say, yeah, but it's still a money grab. But if a percentage of that money grab is going to charity, then I think we have less grounds for complaint. So just do more of that and there'll be less grumpy people. But yeah, Adam, finish off what you got, because then I got a good old quiz for you.
Cool, that's good, because I think we've probably got about 10 minutes left, because we're on 50 minutes already and we're trying to keep it around an hour, aren't we? So,
Yeah,
first of all, Japan.
of course.
So
I knew
this is
that
the
one would be here.
Japan centenary shirt. It's just marvelous. So this one, again, I'm going to have to describe it to those listening, but it's 1921 to 2001, so celebrating 100 years of Japanese football. It's sky blue because that's the color I think they wore actually kind of in the 50s, that kind of thing. Has a massive Japan flag as the badge. And it's, again, for those watching, you can see this and put it really close. It's all sewn in, and it's got like the sewing is different. Like the red dot of the Japan flag is kind of like in a swirl. There's gold around it. It's so well thought out. We talked before about whiteout, things like that. It's a sky blue shirt, and the Adidas logo is also in sky blue. So it means the main focus is this badge you can see from space. White collar, white cuffs. The only criticism is that it does bobble a little bit. Like, it's quite delicate, this shirt. It's got, I could probably like cut them off with like a tiny pair of scissors, but there's about 5 bobbles on it. Um, yeah, it's one of those Adidas materials that's slightly puckery, but it's beautiful. It's a beautiful shirt. And again, it's an anniversary shirt done right. It's just remarkable. And following up is almost, well, a very similar thing. It's one you can see the badge from space. It is the USA centenary shirt.
Oh, nice.
So again, very boring story on this one. Our friends at Classic Football Shirts, I've been I've been after this shirt for so long. I was after it for a long, long time. And I would always check eBay, and I would always keep an eye on Classic Football Shirts just in case, even though they're a little bit pricier. And one day it popped up on Classic Football Shirts. It was like 75 quid. And I was like, are you kidding me? Went to buy it and it already sold out. So I wonder maybe if in a rare act of underpricing something, someone went click and bought it. And I was so sad. I even did a tweet being like, I'm really sad the football shirt I was after didn't come up. But then literally a few days later, having had like a saved search for USA Centenary, USA Centennial, USA 2013, it popped up. And I believe it was from the suppliers, the sellers where you got one of your Kansas City Wizards shirts. Is it Galaco or Galasso?
Yes, I know Galazzo or
Galazzo.
Galacco. Yeah, they're based in. I think it might even be Miami
Yeah, it
in
is
the
Miami.
US. Yeah,
And
really
they
good
had,
sellers though. Really good
yeah,
guys.
great sellers. And they had this for a really good price. It did come from America, but still a good price. And mint condition. And again, for those listening, it's white and it's got a kind of a navy V-neck. The cuffs are navy, but they're really long, like longer than your normal kind of cuffs. If you're watching, you can see this. The badge is massive, and again, it's all sewn in, but the stripes of the American flag kind of going downwards. It's almost like a herringbone pattern in them. And yeah, it's just beautiful. Another lovely touch is on the kind of the corners of the seam right at the bottom. Again, I'm going to have to describe this for those listening, but those watching, this is on the left-hand side. So there's a little triangle cut in and it's got stripes, the red and white stripes. Then on the opposite side, again, show this up for those watching. On the opposite side, right on the bottom of the hem, it's got navy blue with white stars. So tiny little details. It's not the most extravagant of shirts. It's very simple, but it works on every conceivable level. And I love this shirt, despite the fact that America is what it is at the moment.
Yeah,
We won't get political here, but
yeah.
yeah,
Said about that
I
better.
think it's one of those weird things that I maybe wouldn't be as comfortable wearing an American shirt walking down the street at the moment. But it's beautiful. It's such a good
It is.
centenary shirt.
It's a great shirt. Look,
Yeah.
the US have had some absolute bangers over the years. Look, you already touched on it. We were going to say about which shirt we would get if we could pick
Hmm.
one anniversary shirt we don't own. You said yours was that by him. I know what
Yeah.
mine is as well, and it'll probably surprise anyone who like follows me on the socials and knows what I do and don't collect. But if I could pick up one right now, it would actually be the Juventus, the 2017 anniversary. Yeah, the one where they had the beautiful, just very standard black and white stripes, very plain collar, the old 2-star badge.
Yep.
From 2017, and it's beautiful. It kind of, for me, that shirt actually set the benchmark for what anniversary shirts should be, and it just absolutely nailed it. So that would be it. But look, as you say, we have gibbered on a little bit today, so I do just want to end on a little something different. So I'm going to throw a quiz at you. So basically, when I'm on my breaks at work, not whilst I'm actually being paid to work, sometimes myself and my work colleague Joe, we do a little football quiz on a website which is just called playfootball.games. There's some really cool stuff on there. There's like football bingo and like footy tenor-ball and all sorts of stuff. But I had a quick look through the quizzes and they had a football shirt-based quiz on there. There's 10 questions. So I thought, I'm going to have a go at it. I had a go at it. I spotted a few possible mishaps, if you want to call it that, on their quiz, and we'll see if you can pick up on them as well, Adam. But I'm going to go through the 10 questions and I'll probably give you like 30 seconds on each one or something if you need it. Right. Are you ready, Adam?
Sure. Hit me with it.
Question number 1. Which country has won World Cups wearing kits made by both Adidas and Le Coq Sportif?
Oh, Argentina.
Correct. Good start. Which Serie A team won the title wearing an Asics manufactured kit?
Oh, good question. Has Sampdoria ever won a title?
That's it.
There we go.
You've got it right. In 2001, which country won the Copa America wearing a Reebok kit, which is the only time anyone's ever won it wearing a Reebok kit?
The Copa America?
Yeah, 2001.
2001. Colombia?
Correct. He's absolutely on fire. Which team won an FA Cup in the 90s wearing Hummel?
FA Cup in the 90s? Coventry?
No.
Spurs.
So I'm right. Yes. So the answer on the website was Spurs, but little interesting fact, they never wore Hummel in the FA Cup final. They actually wore their new Umbro
They
kit.
did. They changed, didn't they? They did. No, you were right. They had Hummel that season.
Yep.
But then,
and they essentially
in that final, they changed it. Okay. Did Coventry win the FA Cup? Maybe they wore
They did.
Admiral.
I believe it was the 80s.
Oh, okay. My knowledge of Coventry is limited to they got promoted. So congratulations.
Yes.
Peter
Well, any Cov fans listening, congrats.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see you in the Premier League, by the way. But anyway, next one. Question number 5. Who scored in Champions League? Sorry, start again. Who scored in Champions League finals for Bayern Munich and Juventus wearing Adidas kits on both occasions? This is a slightly tougher one, unless you have to know.
Mandzukic or something.
Oh, he's got it. Yes. Mario Mandzukic.
Come on.
Next, number 6. Borussia Dortmund and which other team have won Bundesliga titles wearing Kappa kits?
Werder Bremen ever won the league?
He's got it. He's absolutely nailed it.
Oh my God, I'm such a nerd.
Yeah, I thought this when I was doing this quiz.
Like I couldn't remember if they had won it or not, but I know that they wore Kappa. Okay.
Name number 7. Name the only Mizuno kit wearing club to play in the Champions League this season.
This season? Did Lazio make it this season? Monaco. Come on, Adam.
Monaco. That's it.
Monaco.
The interesting thing with that is,
I think it was a season, but yeah, it's Monaco.
Yeah, the question was actually wrong on the website. I've had to correct it. So on the website, it actually said, name the only Diodora kit wearing club. And then I was like, nobody was wearing Diodora.
No one wearing Diodora.
And then I got to the end and it said the answer was Monaco. Right. Anyway, number 8. Sudo have manufactured kits for which Premier League team for the last 2 seasons?
That's Wolves.
It is. Interesting about them. Do you see that they're taking over from Adidas for Wales?
Oh, that's the rumour, isn't it? So yeah, I'll be intrigued to see what's happening there.
Very interesting. Question number 9. Name the only country to win a European Championship wearing a kit. I'm going to do that again because I got the words wrong. Name the only country to win a European Championship wearing a kit made by Nike.
European Championship wearing a kit by Nike.
Yeah, only country to win a European Championship wearing a kit made by Nike. I'm not going to lie, when I read this question, I went in guns blazing and I got it wrong because I didn't think.
Why am I struggling with this?
It-
I think
it's
part of the problem is that I'm thinking of World Cups as well, and I'm trying to like figure out like who was wearing what, but what competition. Because I was like, well, it's France, but I was like, no, that was the World Cup. They beat Croatia.
that was the mistake I made. I did go in
Yeah.
absolutely guns blazing and I threw France in.
Mm.
Think along the lines of France and who may have beaten them in a final, and yeah. I'm sure they lost in the finals of this team. I hope I'm not wrong on that.
Oh, it's Portugal. There
It
we
is
go. Yeah.
Portugal. Yeah.
I'm with it. I'm with it now. But again, isn't it weird? Because the issue I was having was the way that like just as you're getting older, I couldn't remember what was a European Championship and a World Cup. I think partly
No,
because if you
I
have a
get it.
European team in the final, it's just like, is it not that game? But then, yeah. Okay, there we go. I had a bit of nudging for that one, but I'll take it.
Last question. Question number 10. Who was the last player to score a goal in a Champions League final whilst wearing an Umbro kit? Yeah, I had to really think about this one.
Was wearing an Umbro kit, Champions League final. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer?
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
There
It
we
really
go.
does go back that far.
Again, I was like, who scored the winner? Was it Sheringham? But no, it was Solskjaer. Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah. So I hope those who are listening and watching played along with that. Let us know how you got on.
I'm a nerd.
We really, really are. I went through that, and the chap that I worked with, he knew quite a few of the answers as well. But I did get to the end when you're correcting questions that people have put
Yeah,
online,
that's when it's
you know you're a nerd. But no, good little quiz.
absolutely.
Right, Adam, that's it for this week. Just quickly before we go, want to do a tiny little bit of admin. I believe this episode will go out later this week. We're recording on a Monday night for anybody who cares.
I will aim for it. The only thing
Yep.
is that is my brother's 50th birthday this week, so I'm going to go see my family. But I'm going to try and edit tomorrow, so hopefully you'll be listening to this on. I'll have to look at my calendar. It's the 20th today, so Thursday the 23rd.
Lovely. My son Arlo will be
Hopefully, but
pleased
if
because
not,
he's been
might
bugging
be
me.
the week afterwards.
Yeah, if we may have to cut this bit then if it doesn't, but yeah, if it goes like this week, I just want to say this Sunday I'm actually going to be going to a retro football fair up in Birmingham that's been organised by Granny and a few other sellers up there. Looking forward to doing it, but I'm actually going to be there with a couple of mics and my phone to film some content for the podcast. So I want to have a little chat with a few people, see what shirts people are buying, what they're wearing, take a few photos, take a few videos and stuff. My son's going to be there to accompany me. He's going to be my cameraman for the day, or possibly my interviewer holding a microphone. And yeah, so if you're listening to this and you'll go into that, look out for me. I'll be the moron holding a tiny little microphone and recording people on my phone. So yeah, come and have a chat and we'll do some stuff for the pod.
Okay, fine. I will get it out. Just because you said that, Mike, I will get it out for this week.
He's putting the pressure on. Right, then, that's it then, Adam. Lastly, before we go, I just want to tell everybody to go and watch a movie this week. And the movie that I want to recommend this week is a recent one called Sinners. It's not exactly, an unknown movie. It won a few Oscars this year, but I actually watched it this weekend and it is one of the best movies I've watched in the last couple of years. It's absolutely brilliant. So go and watch that.
Magic. And what I've been up to is, for some inexplicable reason, I decided to replay The Last of Us 2. And it's horrifying. It's actually probably the closest I get to horror, because I don't mind horror in games. If anyone's ever played the game Dead Space, one of the greatest horror games of all time. But yeah, they did the remastered versions of The Last of Us, which I replayed recently, and the remastered version of The Last of Us 2. And I mean, you've had long enough to play it. It's been out for a long time, but there was, I won't be too specific, but I was playing on the sofa. And my wife was kind of like half watching, half playing her Steam Deck. If you don't know what Steam Deck is, look it up. And the character I was playing just stabbed someone in the neck.
Nice.
And like another lady, and there was just blood spurting out. And Liz went, oh my. And I was like, "Yep, I'm a bad person." So, yeah, such a good game, though, honestly, really good. So if you're into gaming and you've never played The Last of Us or The Last of Us 2, well, you're not into gaming, so, you
Yeah,
know.
that is absolutely true because I'm not a hardcore gamer and even I've played those games. But also go and watch a TV series because I actually really like the Last of Us TV show as well. Very, very good. Right. I think that really is it, Adam. I think we have to let people go now, don't we?
We do. Also, once again, I need dinner because we record this kind of normally start at 7 or half 7. I don't eat before then because I don't like it. So we are now looking at my phone, 8:55.
8:55. It's too late. So we're
It's
going to
too
say
late. I need
goodbye.
need to eat food.
Very
Bye.
quickly, hang on. No, one
Oh,
thing
no
before I
more.
go,
Oh.
just very quickly, very quickly. We're going to do an episode on fakes soon and how to spot them. I had a chap called
Mhm.
at Neil Macker is put a comment on there about some advice on identifying genuine shirts. We're going to do that soon. Maybe that'll be our next one. So we'll show you how to identify fakes. Right, that really is it. Goodbye. Deli
Bye,
Alley wave
everyone.
again.
Bye.